Sir, you released a statement today in advance of the State of the Union address. It was very, very critical of President Obama's policies, as you have been as a congressman since he's been in office. Is there anything that the president could say in tonight's address that might soften your stance on his presidency, that would make you stand up and applaud?
Well, you know, he's got the report from his own Jobs and Competitiveness Council. If he'd take some of those recommendations seriously and articulate that message tonight, that he's going to perhaps put some sense into the regulatory environment that's out there, that he's going to allow some permitting for energy production on federal lands and offshore. Yeah, those are some things that perhaps I think we could agree on, and maybe we could get some movement. But he's got a history of standing up at this State of the Union last year and saying, I want to work with Republicans on reforming the health care law. I think medical liability reform needs to happen. I sent him a letter the next morning. Mr. President, let's work on this. I believe in it. It's happening in Texas. I'm glad to share the story with you, and I'm still waiting for a response. So, unfortunately, the performance has just not been there out of this administration.
Congressman Al Sharpton, part of the argument about a fair tax code, of closing the loopholes and having the rich paid the same as middle class and poor people, has been that people in your party have said, but we're creating jobs. The president has a record of private sector jobs every month since he's been in. Can you tell us how these tax cuts, one job from Mitt Romney or Newt Gingrich? You have your leading candidate, or at least he was, Willard Mitt Romney, with all of these tax cuts is open now. Can you tell us how that has created jobs for anybody?
Well, look, here's the issue with taxes. The tax code is not there to enforce social justice. It is to collect the money that the government needs to work. I got to tell you, as far as a fairness issue goes, the first year that Bill Clinton was in office, his first full year as president, he and I earned exactly the same amount of money. He paid his taxes at an effective rate of 19%. I paid 32%. I didn't think that was fair. I'm a flat taxer. I have been since that year because my predecessor, Dick Armey, introduced a flat tax. And I thought this would eliminate a lot of this nonsense where just because he's got a cleverer accountant than I do, a more clever accountant than I do, President Clinton gets to pay less tax. It didn't make sense to me then. It doesn't make sense to me now. I'm all for closing loopholes. I thought the Simpson-Bowles proposals from last year might have made a lot of sense, but the president never really opened the book on those proposals, and we never got a chance to see them in the House or the Senate. I do think that if the president came forward and said, look, I've reconsidered the Simpson-Bowles Commission, I would like for you to take pieces of that and work on that in the House, I think you'd get some traction there.
Congressman Michael Burgess of Texas, thank you very much for your time tonight. We know you'll be in the chamber. Have a good time. Enjoy it, sir.
Yes, thank you.